colleagues with us. Tracy Riddle and Micah Fager are here with us. Tracy, Micah, I'm sure you're familiar with working with them with portfolios and alternative growth measures. So we are ready to get started. We are going to record this presentation, and it will be posted on the team website as soon as we can get it done. All right. Can you see, is my slideshow showing? Thanks, Tracy. We will get going. Please, as always, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. At the end, we will come off. You can come off mute and ask any others. Micah will monitor the chat for us, and we will answer those questions at the end. Today, we're going to start talking about end of the year actions. I can't believe it's already near the end of the year, but it is, and we're going to start talking about things that you need to be thinking about to finalize the 23-24 school year. The first thing is, remember, all teachers, including teachers who you expect to get an individual growth score from a student growth portfolio or the alternative growth measure universal reading screener, must have a district or school level composite selected in TN Compass. This is what we consider the backup measure in case, for whatever reason, either a teacher doesn't roster enough students to generate their own individual growth score or something like that. Then they will have a school or district level composite selected so that they will automatically generate an LOE when it comes time. There are 3 different types of school level composites that you can choose. There is a school level TVOS composite, a district level TVOS composite. That would be used for a teacher who works in multiple schools, or a custom feeder school level composite. Another reminder, the custom feeder school level score must be entered by the district. All of the rest of those will automatically generate. All teachers must also have an achievement measure selection in TN Compass. There are 7 different types of achievement measures. We've got our state assessments. That would be the success rate of students on the state assessments, which means the percentage of students who met or exceeded expectations on their state assessment. Again, teachers can choose a TVOS school or district-wide composite as an achievement measure. There are a number of off-the-shelf measures from the achievement worksheet that have been approved by the State Board of Education. Graduation rate, ACT or SAT assessments can be used as an achievement measure. Early post-secondary exams, students that take those in high school, those percentages can be used as an achievement measure, and industry certifications. Again, a reminder that TVOS school and district-wide composites will automatically be loaded. So if a teacher chooses those, you don't have to worry about putting that score in unless the teacher's selection is a TVOS custom feeder composite. All other achievement measure scores must be entered by the district. And you can start entering those as soon as you get them. To monitor your selections, you go into TN Compass to the reports section. You're going to look at the growth and achievement measure selections report. You can download it by district or by school, individual school. When you click on educator type, it will have a drop down. There are 3 different types listed there. Your teachers and your administrators all need growth and achievement measure selections. Instructional supervisors do not. You select the format. I download it in Excel and click generate it. It will generate you a report. To look for your growth measures, you're looking for columns O and P. Any of those that have blanks in them, those need to be updated. You need to add measures for people. Unless they are marked PYE, you need to have a growth measure for them. To look at your achievement measures, you would look at columns Q, R, and S. Any blanks there, the educator would need measure selection made. Your criteria is in T through X. Those need to be filled in also, just for your sake, to help you at the end of the year determine what score they get. To enter missing measures in T Encompass, if you've got a lot, the most efficient way to do it is to do them in bulk using the import wizard in T Encompass, the growth and achievement measure wizard. Instructions for utilizing the import wizard are posted on the team website. They are walkthrough instructions, step by step, what to do and how to put the information in. The other thing that you need to be doing is monitoring pacing. We talked about this at last month's office hour. You can use the pacing guide report from T Encompass. It will show you the number of instruction and observations that need to be done, how many have been done. It's broken down by planning, environment, professionalism. Column V will tell you if your teachers have met pacing. At this point in the year, you would not expect any teachers to have met pacing. You may have a few, but probably not. That professionalism is usually not done until closer toward the end of the year, which is quickly approaching. But when I look at this report, I can see that the teacher in line 6 that is highlighted, the minimum requirement for them is 3. There are no observations in T Encompass, instructional observations in T Encompass for that teacher. The minimum planning was 2, and there are no planning in. Also, there are no environment observations in for that particular educator. That's what I would be a little concerned about. I noticed that for a lot of these teachers, this could be a school where the principal is waiting to put all of these in at one time. But this is something that I would certainly want to check on. You can see line 16, there is a teacher who has met pacing up to this point and is just missing her professionalism. So I encourage you to use this report, share it with your principals to make sure all of your teachers meet pacing. Partial year exemptions, you need to think about, are there any people that have not been marked as PYE that should be? Acceptable reasons for partial year exemptions are educators with contracts of 120 days or less, educators who've been on an extended leave and have not met the 121-day requirement, teachers who've transferred to a different school during the year, or who have transferred to a different role. For instance, if they became an administrator at the end of the semester, if they went from teaching 6th grade math to teaching at a high school, they could be considered to be PYE. To identify them in T Encompass, you can go to the teacher's record. There's a button at the top that will say set partial year exemption. You click that, a drop down will open. You choose the reason. There is an other. It will ask you to explain just a short explanation of why. And then you click change, and that teacher should be marked. Your next steps are to upload any missing growth and achievement measure selections. Share information on pacing with your principals. Make sure any educators who should be PYE have been marked. Upload achievement measure scores as they become available. Again, scores for TVIS school and district-wide composites are automatically loaded unless they are custom feeder options. There should be very few people in the state that use custom feeder options, honestly. We have resources on the team website. The achievement measure selection and growth measure selections are on their respective tabs.
Hey, Mr. Ramos, this is Miss Allen with Leadership Preparatory Charter School.
Amy, unmute yourself.
Thank you. Sorry. Uploading selections using the import wizard guidance. That guidance, these are all linked on the PowerPoint. The team website, you can find our office hour recordings under recently released, and the teacher evaluation handbook is under the evaluation tab, which is useful when you want to talk about pacing. Our next office hour will be May the 9th. I have changed the topic we are going to talk about the evaluation options that you select each year, to how you want to set up the few options that you have to choose from. We're going to talk about those and how to prepare for the 24-25 school year. Always, you may email team questions with any questions that you have. We will be happy to answer them.
Also note that didn't we change the date to the 9th? Isn't that a change in the date?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Previous, we've had it on the 2nd, but we did recently push it
That
a
is-
week. So it is going to be different than what y'all may have in your notes.
Thank you, Mike. Yes, it won't be the first Monday. We had to push it to the second Monday, or Thursday, not even Monday. Sorry.
We do have a PYE question. Do all teachers who move schools have to be marked PYE?
If you feel that their observations are comparable, I mean, if they're changing positions, if they're changing what they're teaching, if you think their observations are comparable from school to school, then that is your decision.
It's when you think about the school-wide composite, if you
Mhm.
put in a school-wide composite and they change schools,
That will
then
change.
that will change. So they, if they started the year in one school, but that you're going to give them achievement and growth from a different school, consider that. That's why teachers who change schools qualify for PYE, because
Their
it's not
measures.
it's the measures are not the same.
Also, if they change schools, you have to change them in Teen Compass. Remember to change their school setting in Teen Compass.
And someone asked about the change in date as well. So yes, because evaluator configurator meeting is pushed a week, charter school meeting will be pushed to the 16th as well. Can you explain how teachers who have a URS score, what percentage does that count for that educator in their final LOE?
Will count as 35%. It is an individual growth score, so their LOE will be calculated as a tested teacher, 40% observation, 25% achievement, and 35% growth. That information can be found on the statute and policy page on the team website.
That is all of our questions in the chat. If anyone has another question, if you want to drop it in the chat or come off of mute, feel free.
Amy, I have a question about partial year exemptions and how that relates to tenure. Are you the person to ask that to? Who do I send that question to?
I would send that question to, you can send it to Team Questions and we can forward it for you. You need to talk to your legal counsel about that.
Okay, thank you.
We can send it to ours, but you probably need to talk to your own legal counsel about that.
Thank you.
Amy, do you mind sharing the next step slide one more time, please?
Sure. Might take me a minute to get it back. Are you seeing that?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, the PowerPoint from today will be posted on the team website as soon as we can get it up after this meeting. I dropped that link in the chat.
Thank you.
Can you clarify who qualifies as instructional supervisors? What are their requirements for observations?
They are people who are staffed in T-Encompass as an instructional supervisor. So it's about how you staff them. You can put their observations in, but there is no requirement for you to put their observations in T-Encompass.
Is there guidance regarding achievement criteria when using an off-the-shelf assessment or URS, or is this still at the discretion of the district to create the criteria?
Okay, I think what you're asking is you're using a URS as an achievement measure. If you're using it as an achievement measure, you set the criteria. If it's being used as a growth measure, there is no criteria to set. It'll be a 1 through 5. A teacher can use the URS as a growth measure and get a 1 through 5 that will be automatically loaded because it's an individual growth score. And the teacher can also use the URS as their achievement measure with a different criteria. Does that make sense? And is that answering your question?
Yes, it does.
Great.
Will instructional supervisors still get an LOE without an observation?
Instructional supervisors will not get an LOE with or without an observation. Instructional supervisors do not generate LOEs.
I dropped a link to the instructional supervisor information page on our team website.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? If not, we'll end early and you'll get a few minutes back. Please don't hesitate to reach out to Team Questions with any questions that may come up. We're happy to help you. Look forward to seeing you next month.